Hey, everybody. What is going on? I'm Phil Morris. You know you're listening to the Sci-Fi Sisters. And if you're on the wrong channel, welcome.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Sci-Fi Sisters podcast, where we give you our point of view. I'm your host, Tamia Harper. Today, I'm joined by my sisters, Yvette Blackman-Tom.
Hello.
Fran T.
I don't know. I'm normally last and I say what's happening, but okay.
Fran T is what's happening. And Sabrina Wood. I know I threw it out of order, but you got to be ready to go.
You got to be ready.
Come on. Come on now. Well, I went in order on my screen. So there you go. Folks, this is the show. I'm saying the show. If you haven't listened to a single show of ours, this is the show to listen to, because we are sitting here on this screen and we're all trying to keep it cool. Because the brother is like fine wine. He just gets better. Just gets better. And we're trying to keep our little hearts just a pitter patter. Okay, so like we're sitting here with Black TV royalty. We're sitting here with an acting legend, a Star Trek legend. I'm going to run down some roles, because before there was Star Trek for me with this man, well, there was Star Trek back in the beginning. I'll get to that. But in my coming up, because he's been acting forever, so it is like we
Forever.
ever. It's like we grew up together, right? So there's shows like, I'm just going to run down this list. The PJs, Wanda at Large, Black Dynamite, that's my jam. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Girlfriends, Brothers, Webster, 227, Living Single, The Jamie Foxx Show, The Steve Harvey Show, Hanging with Mr. Cooper, In the House, Moesha, Blackish, and Martin. Woo, child, those are just some of the influential places that you have seen this man. Also, you can go back to The Young and the Restless, you saw him. You can go back to Star Trek, TOS, and Miri, and he was there. And then he was also Ramada Khan. Come on, y'all. He was Ramada Khan.
Jem Hadar right there.
Sexiest Jem Hadar I have ever seen in my life. My life. Okay.
Right.
You know, the voice acting. Oh, don't let me forget Seinfeld. Come on now. Jackie Childs. We all know Fran is having a conniption. If y'all could see her right now, she's almost out of her chair.
You can
Then,
see
I mean,
Fran.
things like, and for the rest of y'all, he was on things like Cheers and Melrose Place and the Tony Danza Show and JAG and NCIS and Will and Grace and, oh, my jam, Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles. Those were awesome. And then in film, it was Star Trek 3, Search for Spock. There's been Atlantis. There's been so much. And we can't even get into all the voice acting, like for Boondocks and Doom Patrol and so many other things. And I haven't even touched the video games.
Or the
Y'all
comics.
Or the comics. Have y'all guessed who I'm talking about yet? Is none other than legend royalty himself, Mr. Phil Morris. Welcome to the show.
Wow. I'm humbled. I am humbled, but I'm also excited to just hear what I have to say. I have done a lot.
Yeah, you have done a
Who
lot,
that man,
brother.
Harpo? Who that man?
So grateful. So grateful. Always excited to do what I do. You see, it's all love. It's really all love. I'm rank and file. I am as interested in the niche genre as any of you. And so I feel like I'm trying to carry a flag for all of us. And if I'm happy with the work that I'm doing, I'm hoping that you will be. So thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. And if you can't tell by these smiles on this screen, we are extremely happy with the work that you have given us, your body of work. And we were talking before the show. I was like, I don't even want to try to pigeonhole this conversation, because the breadth of experience that you bring is so vast that, there's no way to try to narrow it down. I feel like we'll take its course, but I want to start for our little Trekkie hearts back in with Miri in TOS
Mhm.
when you were that little black boy. I was like, hey,
Mhm.
there's a little black boy
Mhm.
in the TOS. And
Yes.
yes, you
With
were
that army
young.
hat, with army hat with the net
Yeah,
over it. You know I had to get
boy
one.
with the combat helmet. That's
The
it. That was
combat
my billing.
helmet.
And we know, your father is a legend also in this business. And I'm wondering, when you were that age, working on that set of TOS, did you know at that time that you wanted to follow in your father's footsteps and go into acting, or was this just a thing that you did and then it came later?
The latter. I mean,
Okay.
that episode was a bit of a stunt casting episode. I spoke about this before, but
Hmm.
for viewers who do not know, my father's Greg Morris from the original Mission Impossible series, which ran from 1966 to 1973. It is the series that the Tom Cruise movies are based on. So a lot of people really aren't that aware of that. So at the time, they were shooting on the same lot as the original Star Trek, and that episode, Miri, if people remember, there were a lot of kids, and they wanted kids who weren't always actor kids, who were polished and knew where to go and what to. They just wanted kids who were like running around and kind of frenetic. And who better than actors' kids to hire, because we knew when to be quiet, we knew when to, to kind of make it happen, and we weren't actors, so there was no polish to us. If you look at any of the pictures from me at that time, you look at me on screen at all, I just like, huh, what's up? So that was genius on their part, I thought.
Mhm.
But to answer your question, no, at that point, I was not considering being an actor at all. I was just living the life of a kid. My
Hmm.
father became famous when I was 7.
Hmm.
So, I was fully a kid. I had no idea what, like, if I saw him on TV and I saw him in the living room, I was confused, right?
Uh-huh.
How can you be there and how can you be here? So I was just a little kid, man, and I was just as much a little kid as anybody else. And I loved all the little kid stuff. I love G.I. Joes. I love Hot Wheels. I love comic books. And being on the Star Trek set, of course we were fans of Star Trek, the original especially, and to
Hmm.
be there with Captain Kirk and I mean, it was pretty special for a 7-year-old kid or
Wow.
8-year-old, however old I was. So I was completely enamored with the whole thing, but I had no idea I was going to be an actor at that point.
Wow.
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 So when did that start taking shape for you?
Well, once again, I'm a middle child. I'm a natural rebel. I'm the only boy. I was always like little Greg, and I was like, "Excuse me,
Mhm.
uh, I'm Phil. I'm Phil. That's
Right.
him.
Well,
I'm me."
right.
So I spent a lot of time trying to figure out
Yeah.
that, right? So sports and animation and all that, some martial arts, all that stuff. Girls, the stuff
Hmm.
that you do when you're growing up.
Right.
And ironically, I had an experience with my father. And I just posted this on my Instagram.
Mhm.
It was a movie called Contact 303 that my father starred in with Billy D. Williams and Henry Fonda and Chad Everett and Merle
Mm.
Haggard. And I mean, it was an incredible cast. I was
Mhm.
17 years old. I just graduated high school. I was on it as a production assistant. My father was one of the stars. We're out in the Mojave Desert doing army stuff. What did I play in the original Star Trek? Boy in the
And-
combat helmet.
Right.
Yep. Hmm.
So here I am in the desert,
Mhm.
dressed up in army fatigue. I mean, it's like coming full
Huh.
circle. It
Yeah.
was an incredible experience for me. I'm on location shooting movies. It's no longer me watching my father do it, right?
Hmm.
I'm there doing it.
Yeah.
And they transitioned me into like the role of Billy D's Jeep driver. I was just a PA, but they liked me a lot, and I had a lot of strength and charisma, I suppose. And so they gave me a role as Billy D's Jeep driver. So I was in every scene Billy D was in. I was like always around,
Wow.
which was
Wow.
awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting at the foot of these masters, I'm like
Yeah.
watching them do their thing, and I'm like, I wanted this I want to do this.
Yeah.
Um, and
Mhm.
so when I got back to Los Angeles, I started studying acting, and one thing led to another, and I took my bumps and bruises and licks and figured myself out. So it brought me here today.
Mm.
Wow.
And what did your father Greg have to say about you choosing to go into acting now? Was he for it or was he trying to warn you?
Both my mother and he were not thrilled,
Mm.
to be
Mm.
honest. I mean,
Mm,
what he went through,
Hmm.
right, that's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
you always think you want to be the first. I want to be the first black president. I want to be the
Hmm.
first black this. I want to be the I want to be famous. I want to be this, So I didn't understand what that took, right? None of us really do, right?
Right.
We just kind of have it in our head. We're like, I want to do this thing, especially at that time, 1976 is when I decided to be an actor. And that was much later than my father, but still, things hadn't opened up,
Right.
Yeah.
but
No.
they
Mhm.
obviously are now. And
Mm-hmm.
so my mother, especially having seen the struggle my father went through, did not want that for her boy, you
Can,
know,
Mhm.
do you feel comfortable talking about some of the things that he went through that you know about?
that he went through or that
Mm-hmm.
I went through.
And he and then you.
I really don't know the hard stories. He didn't
Okay.
share that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
What I do know is that after Mission Impossible ended and he was not given many opportunities, not the way like the more homogenous
Sure.
members of the
Right.
cast
Right.
might have been
Right.
given,
Yeah.
that hurt him deeply.
Mm-hmm.
And what I do know about this is there's an unseen, unheard killer of African American period, but I will
Mhm.
say males of a certain era and the burden that they take trying to achieve in a world that does not want them,
Mm-hmm.
in a world that does not look like them,
Right.
yet they're trying to be who they need to be.
Mhm.
Mhm.
That is rough.
Mm-hmm.
That is rough. I have a poster right here over my shoulder. You can't really see it, but it's my Uncle Bill Wright. My Uncle Bill Wright, just like a family
Mhm.
friend. He
Mhm.
was one of the first African American PGA card members. He was
Mm.
the first African American to win a major golf championship in this country. He won the 1959 Public Links Championship.
Wow.
Wow.
At the time, this is just to show you, right? At the time, the winner of the Public Links, the amateur, and the U.S. Open were all invited to the Masters tournament in Augusta, Georgia.
Oh, Lord.
Mm.
Hmm.
That was created by a man named Bobby Jones. Bobby Jones wrote a letter to my uncle saying, "Do not show up.
Mhm.
You will not be admitted on the grounds." I tell that story so that people understand the journey that they had to go through and what I
Mm-hmm.
was exposed to. That's one story. And
Mm-hmm.
so I do know that those places that my father had to go were very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And what he had to endure was beyond what I can absolutely understand and
Mhm.
fathom. And so we carry on in their name, but it was a tough slog for him. And as
Yeah.
beautiful as the work was, and he was as a human being, to get through all of that took a great deal of strength and courage, bravery.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
as we get older, we tend to appreciate the struggles that our parents and those before us, went through as we
Mhm.
start to go through them. Because I'm thinking about what you were talking about, like by the time you came along and, that was 76 when you got that film. And we weren't, it wasn't significantly better. It was a little bit better, but
No, we were in the height of black exploitation and,
Yeah.
Mhm.
doing all kinds of crazy stuff and
Mhm.
typecasting beyond,
Hmm.
typecast. It was
Well, I
just,
think that's one of the reasons why that was hard on my father, because he broke the types,
Sure
right?
he did.
oh
Mhm.
Sure
my
did.
God,
That's
Yes.
Yes,
yes.
that's
he
Sure
did.
did.
one of the reasons
Mhm.
why he was hired, because he was beautiful, he spoke so well, he was
Mhm.
intelligent, he was who they could accept, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, Not
He could have
saying that
been a
he,
hand model. I mean,
yeah,
when his fingers were
yeah.
there
Oh
doing all
man,
they were
that,
messing with those wires. I was like, he has such pretty hands. Oh
that
my God.
cat, and he took care of him. I remember he had manicures all the time.
Mhm.
But and that was
Bonnie
just who he
Collier.
was. It was who he was, right? He wasn't
Mhm.
acting, he
Yeah.
wasn't faking the funk. That's who he
Right.
was. So he was happy to play that and to be that representation. That laid itself on me hard. I
Mhm.
mean, they
Mm.
told us, remember, I was 7 when
Right.
this happened. When it became the number one show in the world, I was 9.
Mm.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
this is
Mission
a
Impossible.
heavy exposure. And we were
Mhm.
representations of not just our family, but our whole race and culture.
Sure.
Mhm.
Sure.
And we took it very seriously.
We looked at Mission Impossible every time it came on
It
because
didn't matter.
Greg Morris was on it.
That's right.
Your
And he
father
played this
watched that show. Now
smart,
you know.
you know,
Mhm.
played this smart.
Granddaddy watched that show. I was
If
like, oh,
Lloyd Sr. sat down and watched a TV show, you know somebody black was in that.
right. 'Cause they wasn't watching nothing that had no black folks in it.
Well, and
No.
so many people could come to me to this day and say, I'm an engineer because of your father.
Right.
I'm a
Mhm.
scientist because of your father. I'm a doctor because of your father. I saw the art of the possible. I lived in the house of the possible.
Yeah.
So that's why you see what I do. I mean, I'm breaking down barriers and always have. I don't even know what a barrier is, you know? You're clearing it in street shoes.
That's that sort of goes to something that I was thinking about because when you look at the breadth of your career, it's extremely diverse. Like I call you Black TV legend because you were there in like every show, but you've done so much more. Did you have a struggle against typecasting that you had to go through, or was it just you sort of were able to stake that ground and claim that?
Yeah, well, I am who I am, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I never deviated from that, whether they wanted it or they didn't want it. I didn't understand why they wouldn't, but I did understand, when people would say, "Hey, could you lose a few IQ points in this read?" The hell does that mean?
Oh,
I mean, you're not sounding smart. Is that what you're asking me to do?
wow.
Well, the answer to that is no, I cannot. So this might be a job for somebody else. I was always in the place that I was never willing to sell my soul for anything.
Mm.
All
Not
right
anything.
now.
Not a dollar, not a project, nothing. If it wasn't for me, it's for someone else. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Right.
Mhm.
So I was always really strong in that. And I thank my mom and dad for that, beyond, them showing me that as an artist, just as a human being,
As a
Yeah.
person.
where you have to be the answer.
Yep.
You can't be looking at other people, man. How do you help me out? How come you ain't doing it? Well, no, no, no. I have to live and be the light. So I always carried that from the moment I started doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really been strong for me. So no, I do not. No, nor do I know the limit of my talent
Right.
until I run
Oof.
into it. I,
Thank
I
you.
I don't assume that I can't do something.
That's it.
Voiceover. I could play a Chinese bus driver. All you gotta do is close your eyes.
That's
Mm-hmm.
right.
And that's why voiceover is so intoxicating, because you can play so many more people with this than you can
Yeah.
look like, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
And so it's really flexible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm so glad you got into voice acting also, because I mean, you being in the DC universe is everything to me. Because you know how I feel about you. You were my hero. Um, and you talk about how your father and people come to him saying, I'm an engineer because I mean, you do the same thing for us. And I know we're gonna get
Mm-hmm.
there, but I just when you talk about voice acting, I think about John Jones, and he's like my favorite. But I'm a DC head, so when I found out you were going to be in the universe, it just yeah, you deserve to be in that universe, and hopefully they'll start making some decent movies.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Help.
yeah. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm
I
so
have
happy. Yeah.
20,000 comic books. I have 20,000 issues myself,
Oh
personally.
my gosh. Wow.
Oh,
You
I
are a
believe it.
hardcore
I
collector.
believe it. I believe
Yeah,
it.
I'm about to see
I
what can I
believe
reach
it.
for with an
I
arm's
believe
length
it.
that has something on it. I just reach
I
for
thought
this.
I had
This
something with
is
a couple of
I
archive
just got
boxes,
this the
but
other day. This is
Ooh.
Wonder Woman,
oh,
Oh,
right? No, no,
yes.
no. I'm real in it. I literally my computer's
Oh
sitting
my God, that's
sitting on
waiting for
top
Y'all,
of.
me.
he was showing us what was
It's
this Wonder Woman?
Wonder
Wonder
Woman.
Yeah,
Woman.
It's a
Wonder
new Wonder
Woman,
Woman.
absolute Wonder Woman. Yeah,
Absolute. Yeah, that's
yeah,
Mm.
the
the new
new
jam.
new trilogy, or I
Hmm.
don't know if it's a trilogy, a series that is coming out for Wonder Woman.
So I'm in
Mm.
it. I'm in it.
Yeah.
I don't collect like I used to, but I definitely love the world. It taught me so. I mean, I got Snoopy right behind me.
I see you.
Yeah, I
That's my
I
got.
see
spirit
you.
animal right there. Snoopy's
That's
my
it.
spirit
Mine too.
animal. A little Woodstock. Come on.
I
Joe Cool.
love.
Remember Joe
Yeah.
Cool?
Yes,
That was my man right
yes.
there.
So I said that's what I meant up the front. I'm card carrying, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
this is literally sitting on top of the Super Sons Omnibus Super Duper Edition. That's what's that's what's so.
Whoa.
Super duper
Whoa.
edition.
Not
Here's
the
what I do.
super duper edition.
I go to these conventions, right? I don't really collect anymore. I just go and
Yeah.
I walk the floor. Well, you saw me. I walk the
Yeah.
floor.
Yeah, you do.
I want to hang out. I want to kind of collaborate. I want to be a part of it. And so I run across people who they know my work. I love their work. They love my work. And I'll give them something. They'll give me something. They'll autograph something for me. I'll autograph something for them.
Love
It's
it.
like a beautiful village, man. So I just
Mm.
keep the flame alive.
That's so true. Go ahead, Yvette. Looked like you were about to say
Nope,
something.
I got nothing. Go ahead.
Okay. I
I'll
was
add
just
something
saying,
because he was walking the floor and I was at Trek Long Island and
yeah.
who was the guy that was like sending everybody to us? I forget his name. What is it? Oh my God.
Scott.
He always Scott.
Oh,
Scott.
Scott,
Yeah.
yeah.
Scott goes,
Scott.
Sabrina. And you were standing next to him, and I turned around and just like, hit the wall. I was trying to be cool. No, I'm standing there like, oh,
This is
hello,
true.
it's me and Tanya. And then you guys left, and I had to lean against the wall. Tanya was laughing at me. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. She's like,
Banning you.
you had no
We had a good
idea.
time. It was a
We
great
We
really
had
time.
such a
did.
good
Did.
Yeah.
time.
We're
I
so
have some
glad you
great
were there for
pictures.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, it was
yeah.
really cool to meet you and your sister, and that like that
Yes.
is like
Iona.
really. I know. Hello, Miss Iona.
Yeah.
Who
Another one
will
of
be
my
um,
having
spirit
on the show
animals.
soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
yeah, you guys were you both so gracious. It's like I was afraid to go talk to y'all because the other sisters had met you before, and I was like the one who was all late, and I was like, okay, let me get my courage up. Let me
And I'm
go
like,
over to this
come on,
table.
let's go.
Like,
Come on, Jamia.
hi, I'm one of the sci-fi sisters, and you're like, hey, and I was like, oh, yay. And then just to you both made us feel really comfortable, really at ease, and
Mm.
that's the beauty of it. That's how you know that great soul. Like you're not putting on airs. You recognize, like you said, like I'm a fan and I'm a nerd and I'm this and I'm that and I'm no different. I just have a different job,
Mhm.
you know.
Well,
And that,
our
yeah,
parents, again, I have
yeah.
to give all credit to them.
Mhm.
My dad used to wake us up late at night or early in the morning, well, however you want to phrase it. And he would sit us down and give us perspective. Like, y'all don't know. I mean, he came from
Mm,
Cleveland. The original projects, the first projects ever developed in the United States were in Cleveland, Ohio. He grew up there. So he came from nothing, no
mm.
thing. And here we
Wow.
are living in Beverly Hills. We got a pool and a dog and
Yeah.
so he just kept hitting us with reality. My mom's from West Virginia. Her father was a coal miner. I mean, she's literally a coal miner's daughter. So
Mhm.
Mm.
these people were salt of the earth people, came from nothing and
Mm-hmm.
made so much of themselves and never let us forget that my dad used to say all the time, man, the streets is cold out there. So, learn the lesson. And even though I didn't grow up in the streets,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and I did put myself through some experiences I really didn't need to because I thought
Mm-hmm.
I needed that credit.
Yeah.
Right.
Um, they gave us the perspective of grace
Yeah.
Yeah.
and being grateful and understanding that there's people who came before you and people come after you. So be about it, you know.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
that's really
Well,
strong.
be
So
about it.
I appreciate you guys saying that. My sister and I have a shared experience. We understand each other.
Mm-hmm.
We've come from a place that very few people come from, and we love each other. We've had no issues, no arguments. It's just all been beautiful,
I
and we
love
are
that.
I
very
love the
honorable.
vibe of
I
you
love
two. I
your
really
vibe
did.
together.
It was
I
like
was
so
like,
brother
oh
and
my
sister. And
God.
I am
Y'all were
super close
getting
to
on
my
each
brother,
other.
and
It
I
was
was feeling
right.
it. I was so feeling it because I got a brother like that. We are just like, we're one name children, like Sabrina and Lloyd. Like,
Yeah.
we were always, we had one name.
Right.
So I just loved it when I met you two. I was like, oh my God, I miss my brother, but I'm watching this and I'm
Mhm.
feeling good.
Mm.
Yeah, so since we're talking about your wonderful sister who I just adore, um, what I know you guys are doing something together that is absolutely wonderful. This podcast that you're doing. Can you talk about that for a little bit?
Yeah, well, she started it.
Of
Iona was
course.
been told by
Of course she
her
did.
I had done it a few times, but she started this particular venture, and it's called The Vision is Possible.
Mm.
Obviously, based off of our connection with our father, the
Hmm.
mission impossible, but
Mm-hmm.
it's all everybody's vision is possible, and we walk a certain path, and it takes a lot of vision to do what we do. It takes a lot of courage to do what we do. Nothing is guaranteed. I have never had a regular job since I was 17 years old, so I don't have a
Mm.
real boss. I make everything up. Every day I wake up, I'm like, okay, so what's up today? And we create the possible out of nothing. So that's what most people are struggling with. They're struggling with how do they make their lives work? How do they make their lives possible, successful, fulfilling? And so we come on and we try and share our walk and then bring other people on who have certain walks of their own and tell people how we did it and who influenced us, who our mentors were, who our champions were, who our village was, how when you stumble you got to get up. This is the novel of your life. How do you want it written? Do you want to write it, you fell down, you never got up? You want to write it that you fell down, you got up and you learned and you move forward and you pass the torch. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All the
Yeah.
things that help us get through each day. We want to
Yeah.
share. You're not alone.
Mm.
We're here.
Oh,
Wow.
it's a great podcast. I found it
Yeah.
because
Thank
I
you.
It
don't think
is.
we talked about it, and then all of a sudden,
Mhm.
I don't I think something popped up about your sister, and so I went to check on it, and then it was about the podcast. I was like, well, wait, there's a podcast? What's happening? So I went back. I was like, oh, the positivity
Mm.
that it's just who we are. We try to be as positive as we possibly can, and I just love that you guys are also in that vein, especially knowing, you guys, the little bit that we knew. I was like, yeah, this makes sense. This really makes
Oh,
sense, that this would
lovely.
be what you guys have done together. Because just like we said, the two of you together, I mean, honestly, you could do a sitcom. 'Cause, oh my
Well,
God, you guys are the wit between these two is fabulous. The
It's
timing
true.
is so good.
It's true. And it's like you're just a spectator in this
Right.
world. And it's like, and I'm cool with that. It's like a tennis match.
you're good with that, are you?
It's so good.
Totally
So
good with
so
it,
good.
you know?
And we'll have the link to the podcast in the description of the show. So
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so can I do some Star Trek stuff, y'all?
Let's go.
Let's
Let's
do
go.
it.
Okay. Please talk to me about being on the set of Deep Space Nine and that
Everybody just go.
experience. I know. Like you've so Deep Space, just a little bit of back history. Deep Space Nine is our favorite Trek
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
for
it
all
is
of
the
us.
best track.
Can I ask a question for what reasons? What quickly or
Yeah,
You,
like that's a good
Avery.
question.
Uh,
It was the blackness of it all, but also, but more importantly, it was the storytelling on Deep Space Nine. It was just unlike, for me at least, I should say, like unlike anything I had seen on Star Trek before. It was so the characters were so well-rounded, and there was actual real plot lines happening. Like, I mean, that carried over sequentially because that was this serialized sort of TV was kind of new back then. I mean, Avery Brooks. I was going to support it regardless because of Avery Brooks. That was number
Yes.
one. We had a black man leading the show, so it was going to get my support. But then it got my love because it was so brilliantly written, because it was so beautifully cast, they were just doing something that was leaps and bounds beyond what the other Treks would do. It really touched me.
Mm.
And the
And
relationship between the captain and his son.
mhm.
We hadn't
Exactly. That's
seen
right.
anything like that
Yes.
on TV.
Mhm.
That was
Yeah.
really key.
That was
No.
it was a love story,
Yeah.
the love story between a man and his son,
And his
a
son.
black man and his son. It
Mm.
just, and it's still the reason why I love it so much, and I say it's the best Trek, is because it holds up. I love TNG and I love TOS, but they don't hold up. Where
No.
DS9, the stories still hold up.
They're
You can
still
watch
pertinent.
that.
Yep.
They're pertinent to today. I mean,
Mhm.
things that we're going through right now, I can always say, well, that sounds like a DS9 episode.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It holds up. The
Writing,
story.
the directing,
Yeah.
everything.
The universal
Mhm.
themes that
Yeah.
carry through.
Yeah.
Yes.
Combo
Yeah.
Stand the
pack.
test of time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Good
Because of it,
episodes you've seen 20 times and it still hurts you.
Yeah.
Right.
Oof.
I mean, The Visitor,
The Visitor.
Oh, God.
Oh, gosh.
Tony Todd. Tony Todd made me cry
You
every
know?
time.
Mhm.
And
Far Beyond the Stars. I
Far
mean,
Beyond the Stars.
I can't even watch that because it's
I
so
can't either. I
it's so
can't.
deep.
When
Yeah.
Avery has that breakdown at the end, and it's like every black soul is crying out in his pain and anguish too with him. You know,
So let me speak on it
please.
Okay.
because I have some insights.
Okay. All right.
I auditioned for Cisco.
Oh,
No way.
Wow.
I had just finished the new Mission Impossible in Australia.
mhm.
Mhm.
I had just turned, 31, whatever. And they wanted a black captain for Star Trek, but they wanted one who had like more of a Shakespearean overtone.
Hmm.
I was very young at the time, I had a very young family. And I came in and I read, and they liked me, but just to be honest, I hadn't dropped a pair yet, right? I hadn't,
Yeah.
I didn't
You
have the
get that.
gravitas.
Yeah.
And when
Uh-huh.
you guys talk about the father-son relationship, I hadn't had that
Mhm.
yet.
Mhm.
I would have been making it up, right? I
Okay.
wouldn't have
Yeah.
been fully
Yeah.
felt. So those scenes that I did in the room were more acted than they were experienced.
Mm.
Mhm.
So I didn't get it.
Yeah.
And Avery was the perfect
Mhm.
actor for the role.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Greg Morris is the reason why Avery Brooks decided to become an actor.
Oh,
Really?
What?
Yeah. And
Wow.
I met Avery. We were doing a convention, and he told me that. He goes, "Your father was my hero. He was my idol. He's the reason
Wow.
I'm in the game." I'm like, "What?" And I think this was before we ended up working together on Rocks and Shoals.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm sure because I would have remembered it.
Mhm.
So those two facts, right? I auditioned for Cisco, and then Avery was really kind of promoted to be in this business because of my father.
Mhm.
I think Deep Space Nine might be my favorite rollout as well because of the diversity of the cast, the universality of this of the subject matter, how deep they went. They went deep.
They
Yes.
did. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone mattered.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone
Everyone.
mattered.
Mhm.
Nobody was more. It wasn't like a Vulcan's more important than a
Yes.
Jemadar. Blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
And I
A
played
true
two.
ensemble.
Mhm.
Truly. And the
Mhm.
actors, I thought, and I don't want to say they were better than any other iteration,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
but if you look at those actors,
I would say
Renee,
that.
Renee
Me too.
Auberjonois, Robert Picard, I mean, just the other guys. Hey, man.
The talent.
Right.
I mean,
Renee and
come
like I'm
on.
Renee,
like
Bob Picardo.
Right.
right.
Oh no,
Um,
Bob Ricardo was
No,
He
oh, no, he was on Voyager. He was on Voyager.
Voyager,
Right, right.
but
No.
still a
Armin?
talent like that. Yes.
Yeah.
Just
Armin?
Armin
crazy.
Shimmerman.
Armin
Yeah.
Shimmerman.
Yeah.
Nah. I
Yes,
mean,
yes, yes,
Mhm.
the yeah.
Andrew Robinson.
Oh
Right.
Yes.
Oh my,
Ooh.
my man.
So those that makes a difference.
Yeah.
That just
Mhm.
makes a difference. And when I went in to read for the Klingon,
Mm-hmm.
it was great. Andy Robinson, I believe, was the director,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
he was wonderful, 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 wonderful. When I came to
Oh.
read for the Jemadar,
Ooh.
Uh-huh.
I came in. Now I'd already played the Klingon, so
Right.
they knew me. I'm
Mhm.
like, why am I here reading? But that aside, when I got into the room, they said, "Okay, Philip, you have played a Klingon." I said, "Yes, I have."
Mhm.
They said, "The Klingons think they're the baddest dudes in the universe.
Mhm.
The Jemadar actually are.
Mm.
Boom.
Okay.
True
You ain't
statement.
got to snarl, you ain't got to growl, you
Right.
ain't got to,
Mhm.
Mhm.
you pretty much got it covered as a Jemadar.
Mhm.
I got it." And that's how I got Third
I
Ramada Clan.
love that.
Wow.
Was based on that note right there. It was like my mind said, "Do less,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
do
Mhm.
less." Just
Yeah.
just be.
Have that? Yeah, because the Ramada Clan had that power that just emanated.
Yep.
You know,
Mhm.
like you could just be standing there and you knew, like, oh, I'm not
Oh
messing
my
with you,
God.
dude. You know,
No,
like
I love that
it's all
cat.
good.
Yeah.
Oh
Listen
my
to me.
God.
I love that cat. Like he's
We love it, but we do
I'm gonna
too.
call him on the phone and say,
You know,
"Yo, Third, I just had this great podcast with the Sci-Fi
Yo,
Sisters. I love you, man."
you're like, can you get me on?
Yeah, I'm like, bet. I know people.
I know people.
But I have had the best time on every single iteration of Star Trek I've ever done because they're all morality plays.
Mhm.
They all have to do with the human condition.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Doesn't matter how much makeup you have or the things
Right.
and that, the soda,
Yeah.
boom, bam, the face, it doesn't matter. What comes distills to the human condition, our compassion, our
Mm.
empathy, or lack thereof, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Back
just
there, right,
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what your work on I mean, man, you know, we follow you to the ends of the earth, you know, like literally. Like you can do no harm, no
Mhm.
wrong in our books, but that particular role, I think really affected the story of that episode was so heartbreaking and
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
that's a hard story to bring to life without making it cheesy, without
Mhm.
making it over the top. And you know, the what you guys did in that episode, I mean, it just always stands. That's one of Rocks and Shoals is one of my top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
Top
just DS,
5. Yeah.
not just DS9, but all Trek.
Mm.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Like that's one of my absolute favorite episodes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's another one that makes me cry.
Mm-hmm.
It's a rough one. We get
Yeah.
ratted out by the
The
Yeah.
Florida,
He gets his in
the
the end though.
Florida.
Vorta.
Damn
He
borders.
You
he
know.
get his he gets his in the end though.
Mhm,
He
yeah,
does.
but we run out of catch her so white. I mean,
You
it's
better not
not
catch her so
good,
Yeah,
white,
man.
that's
like
tough.
like
One of my
y'all are
favorite scenes,
jonesing.
one of my favorite scenes in my whole career is the cave scene I do with Avery,
Yes,
where
thank
he's
you.
imploring me, please
Yeah.
don't show up. You will
Right.
not
Mhm.
win. You cannot win this.
Mm.
And my character says it's not up to me.
Mm,
It was fated before I was born.
mm.
Wow.
That is power.
That is power,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
That's power.
Mm.
This is what we do. That's how I felt. Let's get real. That's how I feel
Yeah.
like as a black man in America.
Ooh,
Thank you.
Ooh.
That's what I'm. Thank you.
that's
Thank
when
you.
you
That is.
when you look at that that's what I get. I mean, I'm sure we all
We all, when you said it, we
yes,
all knew
we've
it.
said it before,
Mhm.
that's exactly the feeling that it is to be black in this country,
Mhm.
yeah.
So yeah.
That's why I tell you it holds up.
Yeah,
There's
and
nothing
it,
else in track that holds up.
Period.
Yeah.
and you're sitting here like with four women of vastly different experiences
Yeah.
who are getting the same, who are reading this the same way. That yes, this does describe my black experience in this country.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The beauty of
Thank you
Trek,
for
right?
That's the
yeah.
beauty of it. Yeah.
And
Hmm.
I don't know if they wrote it with that in mind because they didn't really have they didn't have any black
They didn't have any.
writers in that
No.
writers room,
Right
but
as a
No.
we saw it because of, you acting it because we knew who was under that makeup.
Yeah.
And
We
we
knew.
knew, we
We knew
knew.
that voice.
Avery.
Yeah.
We knew that voice. We knew who you were. We knew who your father was. And here you go. You're going to do this scene. And when you said that, we were all like, mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Oh,
Don't know.
great
I mean, it
writing.
takes great writing and great intention with the casting
Yes.
of certain things, like from the top, like from Avery on down, like, but because there's that intentional casting that you don't have to say it, but just by the person acting the role, it gives you the subtext that is there.
Mhm.
And I think that maybe was a more palatable way to deal with it in the 90s, as opposed
Yeah.
to always taking something so head on. You had to
Right.
be a little bit
And
more
knocking people over the
subtle.
head.
Well,
I mean, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but that's the way I
you
see it.
you read my mind. You read
Mhm.
my flipping mind because great art may not intend what you get, what you receive,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
it resonates regardless. So
Mhm.
what I mean is they might not have intended for that,
Right.
Okay.
Right.
but
Right.
as it was revealed, it
Mhm.
lands on you in a way that universal theme.
Yep.
Mhm.
I'll give you another example, just a little bit for the DC member of the panel today. Playing John Jones as a
Mhm.
black man,
Yes.
I thought was genius. Now, this is what
Yeah.
I thought. I thought how genius they would make him a black man. John Jones can shapeshift. He can be anybody. He can be
Yep.
anybody on the planet. He's the last Martian,
Mm-hmm.
the only one of his race to exist. He is completely alone on this planet. Who on this planet feels alone in their own country?
Right.
Black people.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that's what they thought. That's
Right,
why they
right.
made him black. So I talked to the producers. I said, did you guys intend that he's black because on the planet Earth, the one
Yeah.
people who feel like they're aliens in their own country are black people? They went, no.
No.
We're going to use that in every interview we do from now on.
Every single one. We're going to
So-
take that note.
And here we go again. You're
Right,
welcome.
right.
Yeah,
So
you're welcome.
to your
Because they
point,
did.
Mhm.
that if we get it, that means the theme is universal.
Yeah.
That's great work. It's great
Mhm.
work.
That's what we
Before we
received.
move off of Trek, I do want to hit my favorite episode of Voyager, which is One Small Step.
Yay! That's also in my top 10.
That I don't know what they meant by bringing you on to play this astronaut that the crew love. What the men on this crew, you were their hero. And that's Chakotay and Tom Paris, two are totally different people,
Hmm.
but they had the same hero. So much so that Chakotay, the first officer, goes overboard as usual. He almost kills people to make sure he can get to you. And that, I've always been a fan of the space Challenger and the shuttle, the space shuttle, and for you to play that character, just I think I told you that if I was younger and saw that, I would have thought maybe I could be an astronaut. I loved astronauts. I loved all of that. I never thought of being an astronaut. I just loved because I just didn't think that was something I could do. I don't know why. No one said I couldn't. It's just
Mm.
I just didn't see it. But then when I was an adult when that episode came on, and I was like, wow, but what that meant was I could put that into my children, and that's, not that none of them wanted to be, astronauts, but they did follow, their dreams being I am so nervous saying this. I don't know why, but
It's
that
beautiful.
role, every time I watch it,
Yeah.
it just it just takes me in. It is an episode that I can watch over and over again and get so many different things from. Um I don't even know how to express my thanks to you for being in that role and just playing the way you always do, top notch. Um but I don't the watching that black man in that space, seeing everything, and he was the
Mm-hmm.
hero. I
He
Yeah.
mean,
was the hero.
The hero.
the
Yes.
hero in their imaginations when they thought about you, but in real life, in their real life, you ended up being the hero anyway. You stayed. You did not try to get away. You made sure you kept the video playing. You know what I
Oh, and the
mean?
video was going.
Right. It was
Yeah. Oh my
still
God.
going. Um, it just, yeah, it's everything. You don't see that. They don't portray black men in that light, even if they never said it, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I just wanted you to know how much I
I
appreciated that. Yeah.
I can't thank you
And
enough for
other
that.
things.
I
More,
have
more.
to. You guys are gonna. I hope I have Kleenex close by.
Sorry.
No, it's great. It's beautiful. Are you kidding me? I lean all the way into my emotions. It's why I have a SAG card. Um, I want to thank my parents for that again, because what you're seeing, and when you ask me about the roles that I take, perhaps I do gravitate, and it's not, I have a lot of dominion over my career. It's just
Mm-hmm.
that's a fallacy.
Mhm.
I'm not Denzel. I'm not some other, top 10 percenter dude or person. I'm just an actor. I'm a worker, and I've done well with what I've done. So
Mhm.
I'm not special. I'm a worker. So I don't
Mhm.
get a chance to call my shots.
Mm-hmm.
However, what I realize as we talk is that um, characters like the one in Voyager, Third Ramada Clon, John Jones, Silas Stone, all men of integrity, or
Mm-hmm.
people, or beings of integrity,
Beings,
all
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
beings of aspiration,
Mm.
of imagination, of creativity, of intelligence. That's what I was brought up with. That was my life. That's what my parents exposed us to. My sisters and I talk about it all the time. Our summer projects were book reports and poems.
Mm.
Oh.
I love that.
So my father had the most extensive African American history library I've ever seen outside of a library.
Wow.
So we were tasked with reading and learning our history, understanding where we came from, where we were going to go. You had to have an opinion. You couldn't just go, "Oh, I liked it. It was good."
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So all of that is genetically encoded in me. So when I do what I do as an expressive human vis-a-vis an actor, that's possibly the bridge that we're talking about with myself and these characters. Dr.
Mm.
Sweet in Atlantis.
Wow.
He's
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Sweet. Come on. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. My dad played the smartest guy in the room
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
number one show in the world.
In the
Yeah.
world.
Dark
Yeah.
world.
So that I'm
Mhm.
proud of that. I honor that. I'm carrying the torch. I'm happy to do it. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
tell you, this is an interesting story. I don't know if I'm killing the time here or not, but
No,
Yeah. Come on,
um,
go
you're good.
run with it, baby.
I went to the bank. I went to the bank a little while ago, and my dad's checks come to me. I'm the executor of the estate, and
Mm-hmm.
disseminate them to my sisters and stuff. And so I go to the bank, and there's a manager there that I've never really seen. I've never seen before. And then putting the checks in the bank, and she goes, "Oh, Greg Morris. Are you Greg Morris?" And I was like, "No, that's me and my father. I'm the executive of the estate. He died in '96. I've been doing this since 1998 or whenever."
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, well, No bank official should have ever handled one of these checks. So do you have paperwork on with the bank? I said, yes, I do. She was not cool. Not cool at all. No grace, no nothing. I said, listen, we're good. Give me the checks back. She gave me the checks. I went to the auto teller. I did exactly at the auto teller the thing I was going to do with her.
Sure.
Find him, put him in a bank.
Mm-hmm.
Manager comes over. Mr. Morris, is there a problem? I go, no, quite frankly, no. But she didn't have much grace. He says, I could make a complaint. I said, no, I don't want to complain.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted her to know it just didn't go that well for me.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Here's the lesson. I put all of my information back in my wallet. My name is Philip Gregory Morris. I have always been Greg Morris.
Mm-hmm.
I've never not been Greg Morris.
Mm-hmm.
There was never a reason for me to try to break out of any shadow. It is who I am. I am him. He is me. We are we. It was such a beautiful moment. I was like, I could have just said, yes, I am Greg Morris.
Yeah.
I wanted to go back and hug that woman.
Wow.
I really did.
Yeah,
Because I'm exty bixty bookty bumpty years old, and today is the day I found out, dude, you're Greg Morris.
Mm.
Live in love, live in it, buddy. Live
That's
in
right.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
now.
That's so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
My mom and I were just talking yesterday. We were out with some people and like we were just talking about like woman stuff, and I was like, yeah, well, I was like, it's true what they say. You turn into your mother. It's like all the stuff that's going on with my body is her. And she's like, well, I hope you're turning into me. She's like, and I said, yeah, no, it's true. Like I really am in so many ways. But, there was a moment that passed between us because we knew that we were not just talking about the body, right? That I sit at her feet and I learn from her and I'm blessed to be able to do so. And, and I'm blessed to be able to know that so much of me is her. I didn't have that same thing with my father. Like I didn't meet him until I was almost an adult. I was 19 when I met my dad. But similarly, I found out like, oh, these things come from him. So I carry Johnny Carter within me, and and I get it. So I just but just to have had that exchange with my mother on the heel, right, so recently, and to have this conversation too. I see you, universe. I see what you're doing.
Listen, watch.
I see you.
Come on.
That's
You
it.
know?
That's it.
Okay. Can I get in here? Because
Girl, you you got to jump in. Come on now. You don't have to ask.
Okay.
Whose
let me
show
tell
is
you.
this? It's your show, right?
Okay. I've always been an admirer of Seinfeld's comedy. He and I are the same age. He's a few months older than I am, just a few months. And when he got this show, I decided I was going to look at it. And I looked at this show from the pilot all the way to the finale.
That's a lot.
Okay.
That's 10 years.
I looked at it didn't miss an episode. I saw it the first time that Kramer went to Jackie Child. That's how you came into it. Well, because you did it. And he was came to you with some ridiculous stuff. And you just like carried it on. And the first person I thought of was Johnny Cochran. I say, that's Johnny. Look at him doing Johnny. Look at this. My question is this. Did they tell you to play it like that? Or was that you? I mean, I know you didn't write it, but did they give you saying Johnny Cochran up?
Yeah.
Oh,
Fran, you picked right up on it, Fran. Because at the time the trial was in full effect. We had I think it just ended. And we had been inundated with, and even though we in the community knew Johnny from Todd Bridges or Michael Jackson or any of a number of things.
Before this case, right?
Yeah, he was an illustrious figure. Yeah, we knew him.
Yeah.
I knew him from the barbershop.
Okay.
Wow.
Went to the same barbershop as Johnny Cochran from when I was a little kid, and he was a broke-ass DA traveling around in a black Cadillac Seville. And everybody knows barbershops and beauty salons are the center of every African American.
Our social.
You want to know anything about the world, just hang out for an hour or so in either one of those establishments. Right. So that's where I grew up. And so I was doing unconscious homework on him, unknowing.
Mm-hmm.
Until then, Seinfeld came out, and in the breakdown, it said, "We want a Johnny Cochran-esque character."
Mm-hmm.
He had signed off his like image so we could dress like him and all that. He had a
Okay.
letter from his law office just saying, "Yeah, you're good with it." And so
Okay.
when I went in, I knew that that was what was asked of me. So I knew that rhythm, and I had been listening
Mhm.
to it forever, even before the trial. And
Mhm.
then I grew up with the same kind of energy with my father, who's that same kind of large,
Mhm.
strong black presence.
Yeah.
I knew a bunch of preachers and pimps and hustlers, and
Mhm. Mhm.
so I just like threw it in a
Stir the
pot,
pot, right?
threw it up,
When you said,
poured it in.
when you
Uh-huh.
said they're
Yep.
real and they're spectacular, I fell out my chair laughing. And you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do. And we're gonna keep the show correct. But yes, I do know exactly what you're talking about. And I wasn't
Yeah.
lying. I wasn't acting at that moment. That was straight real.
Let's see.
This is that. So we're talking about on this show is so crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
so Third Ramataclan, one of the favorite characters I've ever played. The Voyager character, one of the greatest characters I've ever played. And then
Mhm.
Jackie, one of the greatest characters
Mhm.
I've ever played.
Mhm.
So I can't thank you enough for kind of covering this ground in my career, because these are men that have made me who I am as an artist in the public's eye and the zeitgeist. And I love speaking on them. Jackie is, I did a Jackie Today for cameo for somebody for their birthday.
Oh,
Wow.
nice. Oh,
Yeah, Jackie's always around.
Yeah.
oh,
And I
yeah.
appreciate it. I appreciate them. I'm grateful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
We're
loved you.
grateful for them too. Go ahead, Fran.
I just loved you in that part. And I'm like a little bit geeked out and overwhelmed that I'm sitting here talking to Jackie Child because you know what? You were who. Yet you came through as the person that you were supposed to be.
Thank
And
you.
it was so broad and funny, you know.
Mhm.
Yet I saw Johnny Cochran. I
Mhm.
saw this brother, this brother that was there.
Mhm.
And he was gonna do what he was gonna do. And you did it.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I could
Well,
never win. You know that. I could never.
I know.
Winning
I
would not have
know.
been funny. I had to lose
Yeah,
every
right.
time.
Mhm.
You lost
Right.
all the
Well,
time. 'Cause,
we know whose show it was too. Like I'm just
Right.
saying, like,
Right.
Excellent.
if that had been a sister,
Mm.
you would have been
Perhaps. Well,
winning all the
I'd
time.
have a spin-off right now.
You sure
That's right.
would.
No joke.
There you
You sure
go.
would. You would have been winning all them cases. It would have been hilarious.
Danny Crane, we don't know who you are. Danny Crane.
I love that.
Oh my God. I mean, we haven't even touched Search for Spock. I haven't touched. We haven't. There's a lot that we could touch with your career. Like, I mean, like I said, like it's just staggering looking at your amount of credits and all the different things that you have done. It's beautiful for us. I think I'm going to speak for all of us now because I think the sisters will be like, yeah, duh, Tamia. I think it's truly inspirational because one of the things that we have found happening recently with us is that the more our star rises a little bit, the more people keep asking us, well, what is the end goal? As if there is an end goal, right? Like, our answer to it is infinity and beyond. Like, why would I say no to life experiences? Why would we limit ourselves that way? And that's why I say that looking at your body of work is extremely inspirational because
Thank you.
you know I mean, we spoke on it a little bit before, but just before we go, do you have thoughts on this limitlessness that
I,
you might want to share with people?
I do. I've been doing this a minute. I appreciate that. I really do. And I'm very proud of the diversity of my career that I haven't pigeonholed myself, or I haven't been stuck in staying a younger leading man when I was aging into, middle-aged human or a boss or a dad or whatever. Um, I wake up every day and I'm grateful. I ask what is before me to do, and I
Mm.
look at the truth of my life, and I work desperately to measure up. I'm a human being. I make mistakes, but I always think if I open my eyes that day, so you're saying I got a shot, saying I got a shot, and your ceiling, you put it this way: if you're a person of integrity, your floor can only go so far down. You will only let
Mm-hmm.
yourself fall so
Right.
far, but your ceiling is limitless,
Mm.
right? There is no ceiling,
No
and that's
ceiling.
how I've lived my life. I was
Mm-hmm.
always, and maybe you guys can reflect as well, mystified why somebody would hate me because of this. It was a mystery to me as a child. I never
Mm.
got it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Intellectually, I understand it,
Mm-hmm.
but as a
Yes.
human being, I will never get it. And I think that for me is healthy. It keeps me proud of who I am and my culture and where I'm going. It keeps me open to all of the other options and motivations of the world. I can love up on every culture, race, religion, creed, gender.
Right.
I hold nothing back because my first order of business is as a human being. And as I do that, I find the humanity in all the characters that I play, whether they're a street person or someone who works in an office building, they're a cop or a criminal. And they don't know they're doing a TV show. They don't know they're doing a animated thing. They are living life, and I do
Mm-hmm.
my best to breathe life into those people who are living life, and they give me the honor of embodying them when I'm able to do that. So that keeps me fresh. It keeps me interested. It keeps me joyous, and so I don't limit myself in that way.
Mm. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you
Mm.
for that. Yeah, those are words. We're all silent right now because we're digesting that because these are words that we need to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know.
I think they're also words that we live by, which
Seems so.
I think that's why we're real we're like, yes, we are doing it right.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
We
you
were
are.
just talking about it
We
earlier
were,
this evening.
we
Well,
We're
were,
just talking about it, like what's next for the Sci-Fi Sisters?
yes,
Where do we want to go? Like the
yeah,
things are just happening, and I don't
yes.
know. And we're like, well, let's just see what.
Let's go
well,
this
Let's
way and
just
see what
go.
yeah.
happens.
Let's just
I'm
go.
a I'm gonna turn it
Infinity
on
and
you.
beyond.
If you allowed the popular opinions to take place, Sci-Fi Sisters wouldn't exist. You know what I'm
Nope.
saying? You just would
Mm.
be, hanging out. But
Yeah.
it needs to be you need to be heard,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because other people need to hear you.
yeah. We still
You
be
are
sitting
not
at home talking
alone.
to the screen.
Yeah.
And I want to come back. I don't want to be this to
Oh,
be the only time. I want,
yes. We have a
like I
live
said,
show
more to
too.
do. I want
That's a standing invitation,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
A
Yes.
standing
Anytime.
invitation.
Yeah,
Like,
anytime. Anytime
yeah.
you are always welcome.
Thank
And
you.
your sister. We're gonna get her on next.
Yeah.
I'm
So
I'm I'm
Yeah.
gonna talk to her directly after I
that's
get off
right.
with you guys.
Oh, that's awesome.
Can't wait.
Please
Give
give
her
her.
Absolutely.
our love.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
will.
So
I
Yeah.
just
will.
so everybody out here knows, this is gonna be our Star Trek Day podcast, our episode. So we will have the legend Phil Morris on our Star Trek I can't speak.
Come on, you can do it.
For the big Star Trek
uh,
Day celebration
there
Yes.
you go.
episode.
Thank you.
Yes. Who
It would
else
be
but
Mr. Phil
the man that's been
Morris.
in so many franchises?
Right.
TOS, D Space Nine, Voyager,
Now I'm
the
here.
movies.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Mhm.
man. That's it. I want
Yeah.
people to understand that there are other so-called people say legend a lot, but you are definitely a legend when it comes to especially the franchise that we love so much. So,
Thank you for
Yeah.
having me, you guys.
Thank you. This has been super special. So, Yvette, do you want to tell people where they can reach us to talk about their favorite Phil Morris role or anything else they want to talk to us about?
You can find us at sci-fi sisters.com. That's SYFYSISTAS.com. Hop on the mothership, MUTHASHIP, and become a patron today at patreon.com/sci-fi sisters. Join the conversation in the Sci-Fi Sisters Book Club on Facebook and follow us on Instagram at sci-fi.sisters or under the blue skies as Sci-Fi Sisters. For more interviews, our live show, and that legendary Top 10 series, hit up our YouTube channel, Sci-Fi Sisters Inc. The Trek Geeks Network's presenting sponsor is Fansets. Grab pins and memorabilia from all your favorite franchises at fansets.com. Use Trek Geeks, all caps, for 10% off. Shout out to Stranger Comics, the best in fantasy comics. Visit strangercomics.com and use SFS for 10% off just for listeners. After listening to this episode, please rate us and write a review. We may just read it on an upcoming episode.
Okay, kids, that's been a really fun show, and really insightful. Thank you, Phil, so much again. And want to thank everybody for listening. And of course, we have to thank the baddest associate producers anywhere in all known galaxies. That would be Karen Germera, Stephanie Baker, and Sailor Marge. You women are some of the super fly, most fabulous women ever. And we appreciate you and we love you. Thank you for the work you do on our behalf. And that's it for us, kids. We hope you had a good time listening to the show. We'll see you next time. Peace, love, and hair grease, friends. Hi there. Sister Tamia here with the shorty shout-outs for this month. We'd like to thank the following patrons for your support. Anna Post, Susan V. Gruner, Mohammed Noor, Sue K., Karen Germera, Dafid Balston, Eve England, Dave Gregory, Timothy Baum, L.M., Howard Hogan, Ann Bradley, Scott Jensen, Jamal Taylor, Stephanie Dole, Sailor Marge, Stephanie Baker, Kaylia Zawaki, Liza Albright, T.J. Jackson Bay, Olga Kravchuk, Peter Heisler, Old Klein, Jeffrey Cochran, Linda Anderegg, Zakia Graham, Bill Erickson, Rita Poussant Nethersole, Rhonda G., Bernadette Garcia Galvez, Tara Jefferson, L.J., Bruce McMillan, Cassandra, Mike Nauer, Brad DeMagd, Casey Shafsky, Ayana May Tom, Mike and Kristen Holton, Allison Leach Hyde, Michael Stakem, Oils Galore, Lenny, Sandra Aponte, Cleo Townsend, Tara, Bino, Ali Ashmead, Lamaya Lancaster, Eric, Janet K. Harlow, Daryl Lockhart, Pranakasha, Jay-Z, and Frankie Dawn Engelbert. Thank you so much for your support.